Hi, everybody. So sorry, one, for my appearance, just getting out of the shower, and two, for forgetting to record this presentation last night. So I thought I would go in and present it again just so that anyone who missed it can rewatch at your leisure. So here we go. I'm going to go through a slide deck and also share some moments from our Facebook page. And what I really wanted to share, and what we talked about a lot last night, was that we would love to be on a different platform if we could. We understand that not everyone loves being on social media or loves being on Facebook, but unfortunately, it's a beast that we need to embrace. Using the group really provides the best way to share photos, information, message each other, share polls, and um, updates in a way that's easy for everyone to see on their phone, to get on their computer, and not have to worry about an external platform and software and things like that. So, thank you for using Facebook. You can have a private profile just for the rescue if you don't want to be on Facebook in general. And I think that just my puppy's recovering from her spay surgery, so she's a little wild right now. Just being able to pop in there, use the notifications, and do it when we need to is great. So, all of that said, let's share our presentation here. Okay, so welcome. Okay, so you are an approved foster, likely. You may be an approved volunteer and being considering fostering, so that's okay. If you have not yet gone through the foster screening process and you're a volunteer but want to get started fostering, simply fill out an application and note that you're an approved volunteer with us so the foster screeners can get through your application quickly. But like I said, our Facebook group is the method of communication that we use to rely on. I'll need you to turn on your notifications because that will help you stay abreast to new and important information, as well as um, be involved with events, replying to our polls, signing up for Dogs on Transport, not being like, oh, I missed this. How did this happen? Having your notifications on will help. I mean, obviously, if you're not logging into Facebook or using the app, you're not really going to see those notifications unless you have those turned on your cell phone. But um, for the most part, it will help you get that information more quickly. And just something that we would are really stressing through this presentation is that while social media is for social and for developing a sense of community and developing a rapport with other members, uh, our group in specific is really big. There's 800 people in this group. I would say maybe there's about 50 active users, maybe about 30 active fosters at any given time. So it seems daunting, but it's really just a small group of involved people that are really in there. But that said, we do need specific information and we need it in a way that is easy and concise for multiple teams to see: our screen team, our social media team, our board. So we're all pulling separate information from those posts that you're all providing through updates on your fosters, as well as our team is providing to you to get information. So the less extraneous posts that we have, one off pictures like this guy's cute, without a name, without information, without a sense of who that dog is, really does not provide this kind of stuff that we need. So use Messenger for those questions, those comments, those one-off things. Use our other groups. Happy Tales is our alumni group. You can join it. You're welcome to. We love having fosters and our Southern partners and adopters in there, all communicating, scheduling, get-togethers, meet and greets, not meet and greets, sorry, uh, play dates when their dogs are adopted, getting siblings back together, meeting up with your fosters when your dog's adopted. Really cute way to do that. And then our main page, Road Home Rescue, a page, not a group, um, is where we share from social media point of view. If you missed this, my name's Erin. I'm the social media coordinator here. I'm stepping out on a little bit of a summer break right now. I have a really busy summer with work, so there's some other team members jumping in my place, but our social media team is wide, and we need those posts to utilize to make us the spotlights on the main page so that our whole wide world can see them. Um, and that's where we love your comments. We love your shares. We love your little avatars, anything to boost the algorithm to get those posts seen more, to get those dogs seen more, and get those dogs adopted. I'm going to walk you through the group in a screen share, but the featured tab is where you go first to see all the dogs that need fostering. Check there first when you log into the group if you need information or you're looking to take a foster. When you're viewing requests for fosters, those are coming from multiple locations. From transport, most of the time that's our bi-weekly, every other Friday, Just Us Beagles transport coming from Arkansas. That's where we'll have the widest amount of dogs, specifically a lot of puppies coming up. Our southern partners are very overwhelmed. There's probably like 60, 70 dogs that need fosters coming from down there. Most of the time they are living in an outdoor foster situation, an outdoor kennel, an indoor kennel that is not good, or sometimes just at one of the rescuers' houses. So there's multiple ways to help those dogs. Providence Animal Control or ProVac, and other local shelters, Cranston Animal Control, and other locations are also where we pull dogs from. It's really important for us here to help the dogs already here in Rhode Island. Our shelters are at a breaking point. They are maxed out. They are overwhelmed. They are having to make some tough decisions. So if you can help a local dog, that's amazing. That said, owner surrenders are really important to keep those dogs out of our local shelters. So we have people coming to us that need to surrender their dogs for multiple reasons. A lot of times, growing concern is financially and also health reasons. A lot of times, people don't have things in place for when they get older, and there's nowhere for those dogs to go, or they're having to downsize their home, and their new landlord does not allow dogs. It's a real problem. So if you can help a surrender, that's really, really amazing. Helps those dogs stay out of the shelter, helps our local community. But the most important thing to consider, and please help first, is our fellow fosters. So the dogs already here, the dogs we've already committed to, and dogs that have been returned to the rescue for various reasons. Those are number one most important place to start. The rescue is a foster-based rescue. We have no magic location for these dogs to go. We have no shelter. We have no cages, no kennels. We luckily have a boarding partner, Red Dog Inn in Mansfield, Mass, who is amazing and helps us with some dogs, but we can't put every dog there. They're a working boarding kennel and daycare facility. They're not set up to be a rescue shelter. So we luckily have them helping out a couple dogs right now, Mama Bell and Gunner, which you'll see us asking for volunteers to Uber them to events. Mansfield's a little bit of a hike. We would love if you're a volunteer or a foster unable to take a dog right now to head up there and get those dogs to adoption events, even get them out for a hike, a pup cup, get some great pictures of them is great. But there's nowhere for these dogs to go once they're here in Rhode Island. So if you need an emergency swap or you're going on vacation or all of these things are happening, this dog isn't a fit, there's nowhere else for those dogs to go. So please help your fellow fosters first. All right, so when you're viewing these requests in the group, pinned to the featured tab or here in the feed, the first thing you're going to do is take a look through the information that's provided. And a lot of time, that's the only information we have, especially for transport. Sometimes we'll have more information for owner surrenders. Those dogs are coming from a home likely for years. We'll probably have a lot of information on their personalities and what they're looking for, and they're good with dogs, cats, kids, on walks in cars. A lot of times, if people are looking for a foster swap or vacation coverage, we'll also have that information from your fellow fosters. Not if they're only here for a few days, but if they've been here for, a month or so, that goes for vacation coverage too. But if we're pulling dogs from the South, from transport dogs, a lot of times we're not going to have a ton of information. Sometimes we will. If that dog's in a foster home and has been for a while down south, we can provide some information. And typically the folks looking for fosters for those dogs for transport. Usually that's Nicole or Laura or one of our other awesome volunteers will list what they know. A lot of times that's if they've been dog tested, about how old they are, about how much they weigh, and maybe if we know their breed, if they're puppies born in rescue, we might know what their mom looks like. You're more than welcome to ask on those posts in the comments for more information, but please know that we may not be able to get that for you. If you see a check mark next to that dog's name in the request list, that means they have a foster secured. Please go on to the next. Please don't sign up for more than one dog. We'll think that you want more than one dog. We're not paying attention to who you've signed up for and then signing up for another one. We're going to think you want both of them. Please do not change your mind. Once you already select a dog, you get that check mark and your name next to it, a whole chain reaction starts to happen. Our transport volunteers contacting the Southern partner, telling them the dog is selected, that Southern volunteer is going to maybe get that dog into foster care if they're living in a shelter, getting them set up for the vet, paying a vet deposit, getting their vet certificate, getting their spot on transport. The transport guys are blocking that off, so that kennel's reserved. So all of these things happen almost instantaneously when you're saying you want to help that dog. So please don't back out on your commitment. Emergencies happen, things happen. That's understandable. But as for you being like, this dog is cuter, I want this one instead, do not do that, please. It really affects the whole rescue. And also, please be cognizant of upcoming travel plans. So, of course, work emergencies happen and work trips happen where you're not aware of them. We understand those things can pop up. But for the most part, most people are aware of their upcoming travel plans or upcoming work travel. So, please don't commit to a dog unless you've noted it already and already have a secured a backup that you're going to commit to that foster and then have to go on vacation in 2 weeks is going to set us up for disaster, having to find a new foster to take over. And especially in cases where it's more of a not an easily placeable dog. So that goes back to please help your fellow fosters first, but please also be cognizant that you're not throwing the wheels off by trying to find a foster because you're going on vacation in 2 weeks and you just decided to take a dog. So please, give it at least a month, I would say, so that we can make sure that you've got time to settle in. And keep in mind that puppies will get adopted quicker than adult dogs too. Lastly here, notifications and messages. So I'll show you how to turn your notifications on, but please keep an eye on Messenger. That is how we communicate with you. That's how your screener is going to communicate with you. That's how you'll communicate with the screener. That's how you'll communicate with our medical team should any medical issues arise. And if you have questions in general, you can always message the Rhode Home Rescue main page. If you don't know who your screener is, you have a random question, things like that. But please try and familiarize yourself a little bit with Facebook Messenger. It'll come in as requests if you're not friends with the person, so please keep an eye on that. All right, so let's screen share the group here. Stop sharing this and start sharing a Facebook page and Facebook group. And what we want to show here is what a great post looks like. So this, for example, is a return. Moon Pie's getting returned. His owner feels she can't give him what he needs, which is very unfortunate for Moon Pie. But this is just an example of some really beautiful photos and the kind of photos we're looking for. So a great indoor, well-lit, natural light photo showing his adorable face in a home environment. A great outdoor photo showing him on leash, looking cute, well-lit. Another photo kind of showing his size here with the plant and the toy on a bed. A personality photo showing his goofy side being in the basket, a photo with another dog showing his friendship with another dog. These are all amazing photos and something to keep in mind when you're doing updated picture posts. Here at the top of the group is what we were talking about by featured. You just click this down and you can see all of the dogs that need fosters right now. As well as important information. Can you help these dogs? Our monthly events and important information all pinned here. Some of these slides are in this presentation later. Also, you can go to files here at the end and you'll always see your handbook, how to introduce dogs, some information on insurance, how to get supplies at the village, lots of information, our Amazon wish list, some basic information. And then if you go here, to these three dots, you can see manage notifications. In app notifications, you want to turn on all posts, not just highlights, not just your friends, all posts. We would like you to have push notifications on, but that's up to you. So that's there. What I also want to show you is the poll. So let me scroll down. Hillary posts the poll every week, usually on Wednesday or Thursday. If you have a foster, this is where you're going to let us know which adoption event you're going to come to, keeping in mind you need to come to a minimum of 2 adoption events per month. You can come to more than that, but that's what we require. It'll have the events for the week. Sometimes there's 1, sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 3. If you can't foster or you're just volunteering, you can also sign up to Uber or handle the dog at the event. And if you need an Uber or a handler, Ubering means you're just driving that dog to the event. You're picking them up from their foster, bringing them to the event. You're typically handling them if you're Ubering them, unless you have another commitment, and then you're Ubering them back if they're not adopted. Handling means you're walking that dog around the event for the day, speaking with potential adopters, helping them feel acclimated, taking them out to potty, hanging out with them, and keeping them safe at the event. Sometimes people can drive dogs to events and not handle them. Sometimes people can handle dogs at events and not drive them. So that's why there's that distinguishing change. And then, so say you're going to bring Molly to your event this weekend, you'll click it off, and you're going to write which event they'll be at and post one great, amazing, beautiful, well-lit photo. This is the photo being used in the sneak peek for the adoption event that our social media posts the night before. So we really want a great, beautiful, well-lit picture that shows them very well so that adopters can make their decision whether they want to come to the event and meet this dog. So, please don't respond to the event if you know you're not coming. We need to know that you're coming. Of course, things change. We always tell people like appearances are subject to change. So if you there have an emergency and you can't get there, that's understandable. But please let us know if you're coming at least a day in advance so that we can include them in the sneak peek. And just really important to show a great, well lit, cute photo of their face so that we can include that. So you're going to write, Oso will be there. And Saturday, if it's Saturday's event, Sunday, if it's Sunday's event, there's only one event this weekend. So that's why no one's distinguishing which event. You're also going to know if they need a handler or an Uber. And if you, like right here, Laura said, how cute he is in his shirt, and while he's is super cute in his little shirt, that's really great. What we want to do is kind of just keep the flow here in the poll really focused on the dog and what's happening. So if someone needs a ride, you can respond, say, I will drive them, I will send you a DM, and then send them over a messenger and say, where do you live, what time can I be there, yada yada. So Murphy needs an Uber. I'm in West Warwick. Perfect. If your dog needs an Uber, you need to say from where so people can know if it's within driving distance for them. If they live in Westerly, they might not want to come to North Providence to Uber your dog. But if they live in Warwick, the event's in Warwick, you live in Warwick, why not? So please say you need an Uber from where, and then just respond to that person and say, I will Uber, I will DM you, send them a DM. We don't want to keep a back and forth. I live in West Warwick. What's your address? Here's my phone number. We don't need all of this happening in the poll. Our social media team needs to go through and decipher it. We need to know where they're going and who they are. So just not a lot of back and forth, not a lot of this dog's so cute. Oh my gosh, I love him. He was so good at the last event. We just want to keep it nice and simple and easy to read. So we know that sounds a little rude, and then we're really not trying to be rude. It's just really a matter of getting the information in an easy, simple way so that we can try and get that post up faster and get those dogs adopted better. If your dog has a meet and greet set up, or they are pending adoption, please note that in your response. So you're coming to the event, yes, but say Gracie has a meet and greet, please write Gracie is coming Saturday, she has a meet and greet, so that our social media team does not include them in the sneak peek. We don't include dogs that are pending or have meet and greets in the sneak peek. We don't want to disappoint potential adopters that want to come there and meet that dog. So if they're not included, it's usually because they are noted to be pending or have a meet and greet set up. All right, I think that's what I wanted to say about that. There's also, let's see if I can get it to come up here. It's more happening on mobile, but than it is here. But you'll notice when you start typing, um, Fido is doing amazing. It's going to start typing in this like H1 header font sometimes when you're doing it on mobile. It'll say H1 here. On mobile when you're typing. Please turn that off. It makes it impossible for us to be able to search your posts, and our social media team uses and screen team uses the search option to find those informative posts about the dogs. So please just type in regular old boring font and click that H1 to turn it off. It's not showing right now because this is not mobile. And please avoid posting just like a one-off picture that has no information about your dog. I'm trying to, sorry if I'm making you dizzy, just find what I'm trying to talk about. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable for me calling them out either. So if you're just posting one picture and writing, this guy's so cute, that doesn't help us. So we need a lot of information. Magnolia's adorable. She's so soft. She's doing fantastic at events. She loves cuddles. She's doing great in house training. Had a few accidents, but she's only a baby. She's doing well in the crate. Not at first, but then she settles. She loves hanging out. She loves napping with the other dogs. Sometimes the big resident dogs are a little scary, but the other little puppy is great. First 24 hours needs some extra work, learning collar. So this gives us so much information, so much great info. If she had just posted this one picture kind of here and was like so cute, like we don't know who the dog is, which one's the foster, what is that saying? But in the context where we see all these other pictures and all of this great info, we get lots of awesome info. So that said, we understand people want to bump in here and comment on posts like this. Wow, this is so cute. And trust me, I've done that too. But in doing so, it takes the post and bumps it to the top. So the most important things might not be seen necessarily. And also, please don't comment on just one picture, because what will happen, I think I saw it happen up here, is it pops the photo, like this moon pies picture I showed you to begin with, pops it out of the post and puts it in the feed just as like a hanging guy. So then we have no context. So please don't comment on individual photos, comment on the post itself and try and keep it relevant to the post. Like, um, can you help these dogs? I can foster Gus. Yes. And then she will put a check mark next to Gus's name and say that you're taking him. We don't need to know like this guy is so cute. But yeah, these are great questions. Do we know if they're good with cats? Great, let's check for you. So I hope that clears up a lot of information about the group itself. And if you have something to add, like say you are Ash's foster and you took him out for a pup cup right after this, you are say hi, Obi. You're taking him out, and you don't want to post that one picture on its own. You can just simply click to edit your post, and sorry, it's not here because this isn't my post, and then upload the one extra photo. That's a great way. And you can also edit the information if you learn about him. He's stressing my resident dogs, maybe he's not doing it anymore, so you can edit and say update, doing great with the resident dogs, etc. All right, so we're going to stop sharing here, and I'm going to go back and share our presentation. Oops. All right. Back to presenting. All right. So we talked about this a little bit, but on day one, we're going to need some pictures of your foster. So that doesn't mean you get off transport in the car and outside in the dark trying to get them to go potty, and you're going to get a picture of them. It doesn't mean we need a photo of them in the bathtub, though those can be cute. What we really want is just kind of a baseline picture of info to get the information about that dog to your screener so they can start working on their adopt a pet profile to our social media team to get them scheduled. To just have great photos to use and information. If, say, your dog can go to the event, you're having an Uber pick them up, but you can't physically go, we need some information to be able to tell potential adopters about them. So usually in the morning, the next day, in some bright natural light outside or in a window light, get a couple good photos, one that shows place, one that shows size, one that shows personality is a great thing to keep in mind. And let us know a little bit of information. Example, this is Molly. So far, she likes zoomies and snacks, slept through the night, loves my resident dog. That's probably all you know. She ate a little dinner. She so far hates, the crate, or she's growled at my husband, little things like that. Then keeping in mind, it's going to take them 3-ish days to start to acclimate. Of course, those 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months is just a very vague, not a hard and fast rule, but about 3-ish days, they should start to feel a little more settled with you. So we ask about, within the first week, up to 7 days, post another update. Molly is settled in. She's doing great with house and crate training. She loves my resident dog, loves my kids, hates the crate, hates my kids, hates noises outside. Would do better in an environment with less dogs? Would do better in an environment with less children? Seems to enjoy the quiet. It's too quiet here for her. She seems to prefer to have kids around, things like that. And a bunch more great photos. So photos are really important. Taking them in natural light that's outside or inside by a window would be preferable. And then you're going to want to continue that every 2 weeks while you have your foster. Of course, if you go out for a special day, you get them, take them for a boat ride or take them to the beach and you get some photos, you can do add those to one of your posts or just do a special day out with Molly. Post and be like, she loved the pup cub, loved the car ride, met some new friends on leash. She loved the water, jumped right in. Things like that are great for us to know and be able to use in spotlights. And just noted here on the side, don't use AI if possible. AI has its place. Sometimes people like to use it for writing. As a writer and a professional writer and professional photographer myself, I absolutely hate it. But sometimes you need to use it. I totally get that. But please don't use it for your photos. We never want to be deceptive to adopters. If your dog's looking all scraggly and mangy after transport, we want to not make them look like a perfect, polished little puffy pup. We want to present them as they are. And also, we don't want to be deceptive to our team. If we see them sitting outside without a collar on because AI removed it or removed their leash, so we're going to be nervous and be like, why isn't that dog on a martingale collar and a leash when it's outside? So please be respectful of that. We understand you might want to use it and get creative for funny posts or to use for like a holiday or something like that. Yeah, we get that. But for the most part, we do not want to share AI pictures. Here's another great example of a post from Hillary. Showed this little girl, Elsa. Just a great amount of information. How big is she? She's 6 pounds. Here's her breed. She's cute. She's sweet. She's a little nervous. Maybe doesn't like small children running around. Loves dogs. Loves cats. Cuddles. Loves a pouch. Loves to eat. Doesn't mind dressing up. Runs around naked. So like a cute personality. Fun. Baby gates can't hold her back. Okay, so we need an adopter that has the ability to gate, has an ability to have a safety thing in place. She wants to go wherever you go. So maybe a little separation anxiety, maybe somebody that can take her around more than once. And then just some really cute pictures. The one in the pouch showing her size, inside on a bed, really sweet. So good example there. And just remember, this is what natural light can do for your photos. Coralie looking scared and dark, and we can't see her at all when taken in the nighttime after transport. Taken outside, we can see her brindle, her bright blue eyes, get them in the sunlight, looking, off into the sun or just with the sun to the side is going to be best. Use portrait mode if you can. If you have portrait mode on your phone, or it's a great option. You don't need to use a professional camera. That's not what we're asking you to do, but wipe off your lens, throw it on portrait mode, or just kind of get in there and and try. Take a bunch, see what you get. And just to review, foster group, yes, we need pictures and info. We need updates. Will have questions for you. That's what this means, foster specific questions. So who's coming to the adoption events, who can post a photo for Super Bowl, responses to the poll, and time sensitive info. That's like information about this post, this event that was happening, things like that. We don't want you to post any medical concerns. You're going to direct message Jackie Shepard directly. On our call last night, Denise let us know that she's first to go to before Ryan. I think I had created this while Denise was on a little break. So if you need a supply, you can direct message Denise Smith and then direct message Ryan Del Toro, or put them both in a group chat. Let them know what you need for supplies. You do not need to post that in the group. Direct message it. If you have questions for your screener, is my dog pending? This behavior seems weird. How, I don't know, how is she? Is she up to date on preventatives, or should I come this weekend? You can direct message your screener that. Please don't post memes. We all love them. We think they're funny and cute. We don't want to be mean and have to decline your posts, but it really does clog up the group. So keep those to your other groups. And all alumni posts can go in that Happy Tales group. You're welcome to join. So unless you're commenting to take a dog or ask a question in order to take that dog, you don't really need to comment on the group posts. Like I said, when you post on a photo, it floats freely, it gets lost, it clogs up the feed. Comment on the post with "I'll take him" or ask a question. If you're doing that commenting or liking or to get the post seen or think that's what you're doing, it's a private group. No one is seeing them except for our fellow fosters and team members. Please head to Rhode Home Rescue. That is our main page. Those posts need your comments. Please comment up the wazoo, add little avatars, add emojis. If you comment 3 words, it boosts the post, boosts the algorithm, helps those dogs get seen, helps those dogs get adopted on the main page. We don't need random comments in the group. I know it sounds a little rude. We promise we're not trying to do that. We love that you love the dogs and have cute things to say about them, but it really does dampen the purpose of the posts. We need the dogs to be seen, to get fosters, and by our social and screen teams to get posted to find homes. So thank you for trying to keep things a little more concise. And if you want to comment on the post, that's great. Just try not to do it on the individual photos. All right, let's talk about picking up your foster. Transport location, for the most part, that's the village. That's our office in West Warwick. That's where Just As Beagles is coming to. We do have some other transport locations. We use those a little bit more rarely, and we'll let you know about those when they're available. But for the most part, if we're talking about transport, it's at the village. That's where all our supplies are. You don't need to ask for supplies for that. You're just going to come and get them that night from one of our team members. There are other spots to pick them up, like I said, but those will be mentioned when necessary. For the most part, that would be Providence Animal Control if you're pulling a dog from the shelter or a different shelter or from another foster. So in those last 2 instances, you'll probably need supplies. So that's when you'll direct message Denise Smith or Ryan Del Toro and ask for the supplies that you need so they can leave them for you at the village, so that you can have them when you're picking up your foster. For the most part, always in the cabinet outside, there's foster food for puppies and adults, and the trailer has crates. But if you need supplies besides those, you'll need to coordinate with Denise and Ryan to get what you need. But when you arrive at transport, you'll be able to get all the supplies. If you're a new foster, Ryan will have a bag for you with your new foster kit, and everyone will get emergency flea preventatives and be ready to roll. If you are picking up a puppy or a small dog, having a crate in your car is a great idea. Even if we get the dogs to potty right off transport, sometimes they don't want to, and they want to wait till they get in your car to release the beast. So that has happened more times than once. So having a crate set up is great. If your dog is, the foster you're picking up is really big, they might not fit in a crate in your car. So we're going to make sure to seatbelt them. All our new foster kits have seatbelts. It is the Rhode Island state law to have a dog secured by seatbelt or in a crate. So make sure to have that ready to go. Um, I'd say the best thing to do is arrive at transport a few minutes early. Our team's usually only there about 10 to 15 minutes before transport comes. They will provide updates for you on the way. Usually the guys will let us know like the morning of, like about their ETA, and then a couple hours out, so that you'll be able to plan accordingly. But for the most part, you can kind of keep that 7, 8 p.m. time in mind. Sometimes they're really early, sometimes they're late. Whoever's coordinating transport will provide that roll call, and you'll be able to kind of get a better gauge of timing that day. So if you're asking us the day before, what time is it coming? The answer is always going to be like that 7, 8 p.m. time frame, but we'll have a better answer for you a few hours out. Come in. If you're getting your new foster kit, grab that, grab food, grab any supplies you need. Ryan will help you. Denise will help you. If you need a crate, grab that, get your everything in your car, and you're going to grab your martingale collar and your leash and head out and wait for transport. When it gets there, the dogs will come off transport wearing a slip lead. That is a leash that wraps around them. And then you're going to slip the martingale collar and leash on them and take them off transport. So they'll be double leashed with the slip lead and your martingale leash, and then take them around to potty. You can bring them inside. If you have the wrong size harness or you need something different, you can go inside and grab that. We do have an amazing little bathtub set up if you want to bathe them there. From personal experience, you may have to bathe them again at home anyway. So if you don't want to wait in line, that's okay. Just head home and bathe them at home, but you can do that there if you need to. You will be given Capstar, or a generic version thereof. It's an emergency flea preventative. The dogs are all treated for flea and ticks before they come, but sometimes there'll be a little hanger-oner. We want to make sure to give them that emergency preventative. It will kill any and all fleas within 30 minutes. And then we're going to pop them in the bathtub when we get home with Blue Dawn soap. That kills fleas as well. So we want to, while we can use fancy schmancy shampoos, let's just use the Blue Dawn first to make sure we're getting anything that might have hang on. And also is great for taking off poop. So sometimes the dogs come off real stinky, and we want to get their poop off. It's not great for their skin. We don't want to bathe them all the time in Blue Dawn, but this first night we kind of want to get all the crud off of them. Bring them home, let them relax. Don't do too much. Give them a tiny bit of food, some water. In the morning, try to feed them a full meal. It's okay if they don't want to eat. We're going to want to give them time to relax and acclimate. You don't need to introduce them to your dogs the night of if you don't want to. Just keep them separated, gated off, crated. You don't need to get your kids in their faces that night if you feel like they need some more time to decompress. If they're happy-go-lucky, go for it. Do those intros nice and slow. Always want to do slow intros to everyone and everything in their new home. Keep their world a little small to start with. You might want to keep it just to like one little room, and then kind of give them a more expanse and then bigger expanse. We don't need to give them the entire run of free of the house right away. We can let them acclimate at their pace, nice and slow. So, very important to us is safety. We just talked about seatbelts, martingale collars, because they're the safest collar to use, and a leash at all times. If you're using a harness, you want to clip your harness to the martingale collar using either a carabiner or the leash clip itself. And then if you're bringing them for walks, we always want to use proper leash handling. There's a slide here in this presentation, but also pinned to the foster group. You're going to slip the leash over your wrist, hold it with both hands. We don't want to be on our phone, holding it with one finger, with one pinky, letting our 5-year-olds walk the dog. We want to be mindful of what we're doing. Because that dog may have never seen trash cans before. They may have never seen landscaping trucks. They may have never seen bicycles before. So every dog is a flight risk, no matter how acclimated, happy-go-lucky they seem. The slightest thing can set them off. A squirrel running by, another dog walking at you. We want to be aware of what we're doing, especially when walking our fosters. So please don't be scattered and doing 50 things at once if we're taking our dogs for a walk or for a new experience. In the car, they're always seatbelted. You're going to use safe procedures, getting them in and out of the car, making sure that you're not just letting them jump out and run down the street. We want to make sure that if we have a fenced yard and we're not using a leash very much, that our yard is secure. There's no holes, no bunnies have gone digging underneath, and that sometimes our dogs are smaller than we expected. We're used to our big giant resident dogs, and we didn't realize how tiny this puppy was, and it could squeeze through this fence slat. Please make sure everything is secure, and if you're ever unsure, just use a leash. What happens if they get lost? You're going to contact us absolutely immediately by every method possible and let us know what happened. You'll likely know who your screener is already. They should have contacted you on transport roll call and let you know, hey, I'm screening for Fido, or sent you a direct message so you can let them know ASAP that your dog has gone missing. We are not going to berate you. We're not going to yell at you. We're not going to do anything like that. We're going to get into action and let Missing Dogs Massachusetts know, fill out their form. Please don't go ahead and do any of those things without us. We need to be a part of the conversation from the get-go. The worst thing possible is for us to find out that one of our dogs is missing on a post on social media 3 days later. We need to know right away so we can help with our resources. We have direct contacts to these people and want to get involved ASAP. Please don't go running and screaming, chasing, running with your car, trying to find them. Stay calm, contact us, and we're going to tell you what to do. Those are absolutely never want to be in that situation, but so let's do everything possible not to be, but it does happen here and there, so we want to make sure we can help you. We talked about photos and profiles and using the group and how to upload those pictures every couple weeks after day 1 and day 5/7. Please don't post just one-off pics with no info, and just try not to use the H1 tag so that we can search your posts, keep them informative as possible. If you have a medical concern about your dog, you're going to direct message Jackie Shepard. She's our medical coordinator. Things that are very normal to come off transport with an upset belly. It's a stressful situation. They're leaving the only home they've ever known. They may be leaving their siblings for the first time. That may give them some indigestion, some upset stomach, some belly troubles. Sometimes they get lumps and bumps from being knocked around, from playing with their siblings. So they might be a little sore, but you want to let Jackie know about any and all issues right away. You also want to get your screener in the loop too. If they're having diarrhea, we're not going to bring them to the event the next day. We're going to give them time to settle. If you notice anything strange, you're going to want to tell Jackie and your screener so everyone's on the same page. We're not setting up meet and greets for a dog that might not to see the vet. You're never going to call the vet on your own. We have a rescue vet. We have rescue contacts for emergency situations. Jackie will set this all up for you. If it's not an emergency, we're not just going to pick them up and go to the vet. Please contact Jackie by DM directly. Her phone number is also in the emergency foster packet. Dina, our rescue president's number, is also in the packet if it's an absolute emergency and you can't reach Jackie. Lauren's also a medical coordinator here and can help you with medical issues. You can direct message Lauren. And please just give everyone just a few minutes to get back to you. If it is an absolute emergency, that means profusely bleeding, unresponsive, you think they have a broken bone. Those are absolute emergencies. We're going to use all those methods. But if your dog just, has a little bit of diarrhea or has a goopy eye or a little bit of a cough, please give Jackie time to respond to you. We all are volunteers. We all work full-time jobs. We all can't be on Messenger 24/7. So let us get back to you when we can. Jackie also recently had a full medical Zoom. She's going to be able to help you with any questions you have. And you're always welcome to chat with her in an adoption event when she's not doing a million vaccines. If your dog comes off looking worse for the wear, Amanda at Passion for Pets is our grooming partner. She generously gives the time of herself and her team at Passion for Pets in West Warwick to groom the dogs. So obviously, if they're matted, if they have some crazy issues happening with their skin, you're going to want to get them groomed. Their nails are super overgrown. You're going to direct message her or send her a text message. Her info is all in the comments on our big featured tab post, so she can get you an appointment. She graciously does this for free. So if you're able to leave some gratuity, that's great. But she has given her time to do this for us with no cost. So that's amazing. If you need supplies, again, direct message Denise Smith and Ryan Del Toro. They'll help you get. You took the wrong size harness. You need a new blanket. Your dog doesn't fit in the crate you took. They'll get you situated. And then your screener should be any and all questions and information about the dog directly. Um, Lastly, do you need an emergency swap? So please remember the dogs are just settling in. They need time to adjust. Keep them separated if you can. If it's a separation issue from your dogs, your cats, your kids, your husbands, give them time to adjust. And please know that we don't have anywhere for the dogs to go, like I mentioned. So we don't want to take lightly into having to look for a new foster. This guy's not great, or really wanted to foster fail. You were secretly hiding that from your foster screener. You're just doing this to try and find the one, and this one isn't the one. So you want to move on to one that you just saw in transport. Please don't do that. Emergency swaps should be true emergencies. The dog's not able to adjust in your home environment. That's understandable. We've given it time. We've given them space. It's not working out. Let's find them a new foster. They're going to need to be posted in the group, but you're going to want to work with your adoption screener directly to get that done. All right, so everyone's settled in and ready to go to an adoption event. Great. If they aren't ready, that's okay. We say they need to attend 2 events a month, but we want them to be settled and ready to attend events. So please take your time. You don't need to come the day after transport. When you're bringing them to the event, they need to be on a martingale collar and a leash. That is absolutely required. Like I said, if you want to use a harness, you're going to want to have it clipped to the martingale itself. There is also information in this group about how to fit a martingale. Any of us are happy to help you do that at transport. If you have any questions on how it's used, who can handle your dog at an event? Only approved fosters and volunteers. If you're coming to an adoption event, you should be wearing a shirt that has the Rhode Home Rescue logo on it, either your blue shirt that you're given to or that you are given. If you're a new foster, please make sure to ask for one at transport. And if you have something from our bonfire shop where you can shop and buy things, that's cool too. You can wear that to adoption events, but the blue shirts are best because they're visible and people can pay attention. How to handle dogs at events. That means we are not laying on the floor with them. We're not in their face. We're not hiding them in the back of the store. We're not shielding them from people. We're not letting our family come to the event and just sit around them in a circle so people are intimidated. We're sharing this dog with the public. We're here to get them adopted. So if you're volunteering, please be sharing them with people. Be upfront, be personable. This is Molly. She's awesome. She's so cute. She loves my son. She eats my socks. She's a whiz with puzzles. She is very food motivated. She loves to snuggle on the couch. She's more shy. She likes to be reserved. We want to be honest and truthful. We never want to lie to adopters. We want to keep our adoption screener in the loop with any and all of these behaviors, but we also want to make sure that we're sharing them personably and excitedly with adopters to get them excited about the dog. If you're just there to handle dogs or you're Ubering a dog to an event, you don't want to just show up and not have any information. This is Molly. I don't know anything about her. Please get information. Please ask an adoption screener or someone wearing a logo if they know anything about this dog, if you know nothing. But if you're picking a dog up from their foster, please ask them. If you're just showing up to handle, please ask one of the screeners for information about the dog. You want to know how old they are, if you possibly know their breed mix, if you know any personality traits. Dogs, cats, kids are always the number one. Potty training, house training, crate training are number two, things that we need to know. Are they walking on leash? Would they be best in an apartment, in a house, in a home? Do they need a fenced yard? How are they with kids, little kids, tiny kids, big kids? When you arrive at the adoption event, you'll see our check-in table. We have some awesome new volunteers who have set up a check-in information, which is great. You're going to pop over to them and ask them, say, this is Molly, she's here for the event. They're going to give you an Adopt Me bandana to wear for the duration of the event. You're going to hand it back before you leave. They're also going to check their medical records and see if they need any preventatives or vaccines and direct you over to Jackie if they need a vaccine during the specific time of day that she's offering those at the event. She has time scheduled for dogs that have meet and greets or are going home right away. I believe those are first, and then second is for fosters that don't have a meet and greet scheduled and aren't going home right away to get their vaccines. You're going to want to also advocate for your dog. If they're uncomfortable at the event, if they're showing signs of stress, please take them home. We don't want to force them to be there. But if they're okay, they maybe just need some space, take them outside, take them to the side of the store. We're not hiding them, but we're giving them a little space, a little more time to get adjusted. Sometimes it takes a few minutes. Sometimes it takes a few events to really feel like themselves, understand what they're doing there. You can walk them around the store, walk them around, take them out to potty. If they're starting to get growly, grumbly, don't feel comfortable, tell someone, Molly's not feeling it today. We're going to try again next week. We're going to try again tomorrow. But give them time to settle in, take them out, walk them around, see if they'll adjust. And if not, then take them home. Please don't let children in their faces, people, crazy people grabbing at them. Every dog needs space, as comfortable as they may seem. They might not want a kid to fly on the floor. And this happens more times than not, especially with little puppies, people really manhandling them, getting in their faces. Please advocate for the dog. Say, she's just came up. She needs a little space. She's a little shy. Let's give her some space. And people, we don't want to be mean or rude, but we just want to make sure people are understanding what's happening. If you feel uncomfortable by someone, a potential adopter, somebody at the adoption event, trying to take the dog, trying to ask weird questions, saying that this dog is theirs, trying to hide them from other people, please tell someone right away, come up to one of the tables, and we will help you. We don't want you to feel uncomfortable. We don't want the dogs to be put in weird situations. But this is a number one reason why we want you to always be holding the leash, even for little puppies. People are welcome to hold them and cuddle them, but you're always holding the leash at the end of the day, so that person cannot leave with them. We all have crazy stories about weird people at events. Our team is there to help you, and we are happy to. So please never feel weird about saying you have a weird feeling about someone or they said something strange to you. No one is there to be rude or mean to you, so they shouldn't be. And if they're asking you questions that you don't know the answer to, that's okay. You can ask one of the screeners. If it's a question about adoptions, if it's a question about the dog itself, let us know. We can help you as much as we can. Sometimes the answer is, I don't know yet. That's okay. We're always going to be honest with your screener, giving them updates, being honest with the adopters. But what we don't want to happen is us to have withheld information, have the screener set up a meet and greet with a potential adopter. You arrive at the event and that adopter ends up asking a question or bringing out their pug, and you're like, Molly isn't good with little dogs. Like, we should have been sharing this information the whole time. So please don't surprise any, thing that's going to drop at the event. We want to be sharing this information consistently if we find out new things, so that there's no surprises and we're setting them up with the best match possible. Your dog gets home, they go home that day, they get adopted. Yay. Sometimes dogs get returned. We have a 7-day return policy, no questions asked, all your money back. That's one of the things that makes our rescue great. It's not a dig at adopters. Sometimes, we think it's funny that people are returning a dog because they didn't cuddle with someone the first night or things like that. But at the end of the day, it's that adopter's preference, that they didn't feel a bond with that dog. That's all right. We might think it's silly, but there are bigger situations at play too. People have emergencies. They fall down the stairs that night. They get laid off from work. They have to move. They're big situations happen very quickly. That's why we have these 7 days. Maybe they're not getting along with the resident dog. Maybe it's too much for the cats, have gone into hiding. We've heard it all and we accept it all within those 7 days. So please don't sign up to take another foster dog within about a week of your dog getting adopted, so that we have time to get them back into your home if they are returned. Because that's the best place for them to be, somewhere they already know, and not having us trying to find another foster, getting them into a third home within a week or something like that, and just really kind of upsetting their world. This is a little overview of how to hold a leash if you are unsure. It's always going over your hand, on your wrist, and then either locked in through your thumb or your forefinger. Those graphics are all pinned to the featured tab. This is what we're talking about when we say clip your leash to clip your martingale to your harness. Use a carabiner. You can also use the leash clip right here if these things are meetable. But for the most part, sometimes there's some space and you need to use a carabiner. We have some at the village. They're like $1 at the hardware store. You need to grab one. This graphic is always pinned to our featured tab too. We ask you to attend 2 adoption events a month, posting info on your fosters. That says once a week. It's really once every other week after the first week. Don't promise your foster to any family or friends. Please don't hide them from the public because you think your friend might want to adopt them. Have those people apply to adopt. They need to follow all the steps. There's no favoritism involved. The only one who's favorited is you as a foster. You need to let us know within 48 hours if you think you might want a foster fail, and we'll give you an additional week to make that decision before the dog's posted for adoption. So you get first dibs always, unless for some reason we would tell you right away this dog has a potential adopter lined up before they even come here, so that you don't get your heart broken. If that doesn't mean that if after a week or 2 weeks that dog has no interest, you can't be like, I think I want to keep him. That's totally fine. It's just more so that we need to get the ball rolling within 48 hours if you are unsure. Use the featured tab to select as new foster as often as possible. RSVP clearly on the poll with one nice photo. Ask for an Uber on the poll and coordinate directly with those volunteers if needed. Photos, updates with pics and info. Post clear, well-lit outside photos on a once weekly or bi-monthly basis. Always include info and updates with your photos. You can share anything from our public Rhode Home Rescue page. You cannot share from our private page. It is private for a lot of reasons. And please don't share your foster until they are physically here in Rhode Island. But after they are here in Rhode Island, they are in your home. Please share them as much as possible on your own platforms. You can share them on your Instagram, your Facebook page, your TikTok. Please tag us so we can reshare those posts. You're welcome to share them on all of your social media, make funny little spoof videos, do all the things to help them get adopted, and we'll happily share those as much as possible. You can add us as collaborator too. We just can't share things from our private group directly. So people will say, make shareable. We can't. Please share things from our direct page, Rhode Home Rescue, if you're looking to share and help dogs get adopted. But if it's your own foster, you can share them on your own page too. Any and all supplies, we're direct messaging Denise Smith and then Ryan Del Toro. If you need preventatives, you're going to ask your screener at the event, but you're going to get those at the check-in table now. That's a new update. Medical or direct messaging Jackie Shepard. Don't go to the vet without speaking to her or Lauren or Dina directly. Those are only in cases of emergency. Adoption questions, DM your screener. If you don't know who your screener is for some reason, direct message Holly Bradley. She will help you. Any and all grooming questions, that's Amanda at Passion for Pets. She's going to help you set up an appointment and get your dog groomed and happy. If their nails are really long, you don't feel comfortable doing it, she'll do nails too. Any and all alumni posts go in Happy Tales. This is just a quick overview of the folks we are talking about. Somebody asked me they don't know who people are, so I wanted to make a little graphic for you. Dina's our rescue president. You're going to contact her only in case of emergencies. Regina, you will see at our weekly adoption events. She's our super dog liaison. She's a liaison between our pet stores. Stacy is our VP, our tech aficionado, helps out with the banquet, the photo fundraisers. Hillary is our small dog aficionado. She's helping pull dogs from our local shelters as well. Providence Animal Control, Cranston Animal Control. She helps out with a lot of our brewery events and heads up our bonfire apparel merch. Holly is our screening director. You need help finding your screener or have screening questions, please talk to Holly. Jackie is our medical coordinator. As we've talked to, any health questions, emergencies, contact Jackie directly. Ryan is our supply coordinator. Denise is also our supply coordinator. We're going to contact these two directly should we need any supplies. And Amanda is our grooming partner at Passion for Pets. A little quick overview of the adoption process in a flow chart. This is from the adopter's perspective. I like this dog. Am I already pre-approved to adopt? Our pre-approvals last for 6 months. So if they've been pre-approved to adopt or have already adopted from us within the last 6 months, they're going to contact their adoption screener directly, set up a meet and greet, and sign and adopt. If they're not yet approved to adopt, they're going to submit an application. This is where all your friends and family go if they need to apply to adopt your dog. If they're just applying in general, or they can apply for a specific dog they know they want, Molly. If they apply for in general, they're going to get a daily screener. Screeners are signed up by day of the week. So somebody on Monday gets all the Monday apps, on Tuesday gets all the Tuesday general apps, Wednesday gets all the Wednesday general apps. Or each dog that comes up is assigned a specific screener so they can know everything there is to know about that one dog. So if they want Molly, they're going to Molly's screener. Within 48, 72 hours-ish, everyone's a volunteer, everyone has personal life and a full-time job. They're going to start the adoption process. They're going to send them a letter. Sometimes that goes to spam. If you get people saying, I applied for this dog, say, did you check your spam? They're going to start by doing a background check if that person passes a background check. And that's why people are always like, why do you need my driver's license number? That's why we need to see if you are a criminal. We don't want to adopt our dogs to people with criminal reasons against animals. So please know that's why. Do I own my own home? We don't care if you own your own home, and we don't care about the state of your home, but we do need to see photos of your home, whether it's your apartment or an owned house, to make sure it's suitable living conditions for a dog. We never want to send a dog to a unsafe location. If you are a renter, we're going to check with your landlord and make sure you allow dogs, number one, size restrictions, breed restrictions, make sure the dog checks those marks. View your home photos, make sure it's nice and safe. If you have resident pets, they're going to ask you to release your vet records. We're going to check with the vet, make sure they're up to date on all their vaccines and have been seen recently by the vet and have been spay or neutered. And then you're going to sign up, they're going to reach out to schedule a time to chat with you, make sure you understand adoption, understand the adoption process, see if this dog is a fit for your lifestyle, make sure it's an active dog. Are you an active person? If the dog's a couch potato, are you going to be okay with that? Set up the meet and greet. Once you schedule that at the event, all the resident dogs, all members of the family come to the meet and greet, make sure everyone is on board, everything looks good. They're going to sign a contract and pay their adoption fee, and then they're going to be adopted. So that brings me to the end of this conclusion today. Thank you for letting me talk to myself for an hour, and sorry that I forgot to record this yesterday. I hope that everything is nice and clear and that you enjoyed this time on my couch. And Obi here says thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon. All right, bye.